The 921st edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 921 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Tyler Jones, who on Spotify says, Gumby is the John Jones goat. He put the goat, little picture of a goat of contender
Emoji.
picks. Keep
Emoji
it up.
is the word
Emoji is called. You kids call it. Gumby is the John Jones goat emoji of contender picks. Keep it up, Gumball. He even called you Gumball, which I used to call you. So that's important to remind everyone, because this is a Contender Series episode here. That's Dan Gumby Vreeland. I am El Picante Jeff Fox, or the Spicy Jeff Fox, if you want to do it in English. Even though the person with that nickname has fallen off his fight card, I'm still stealing his nickname.
He'll be on next weekend, though, right? El Picante? Or is that the fighter who couldn't get a visa?
No, that's the other one.
That's the one who couldn't get a
visa. No visa for spicy people. Your country will not let spicy the spicy in anymore. Yeah, Contender Series. Tell the people how good you are at Contender Series, Gumby. You made money again last week.
Yeah, we only went 3-2, but for the second week in a row, we've hit multiple underdogs. The week prior, we hit a 260 on Iwu Baranowski, and we hit another 200 this week on Jalicia Chavez, which is maybe a controversial decision, but Sal Diamato swung our way for once in the MMA's God's giveth and they take it away. So we always remember that. But we went up 1.8 units if you had put 1 unit on each fight last week. So, altogether we're up on non-UFC MMA, and this is only betting 1 unit on every fight. It's not, digging in and doing the big whale double max extra play. This is 1 unit on every fight, money line only. If you just played every single non-UFC fight we've done this year, you'd be up 38.8 units. So, come tail along for a couple more on this episode.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyone impress you last week's episode?
I thought Chavez was really good. I know Dana White thought she didn't win, but like the power in her hands, her toughness, the way she moves forward, I really like that from her. So she seemed good. A couple of guys won by knockout, and I was like, are they even good? I don't know.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. But I'm much more hyped on this episode right here. There's
that's what I was going to ask you.
One fighter who has so you asked me at the beginning of the season, and I was like, who is your the fighter you're the most excited for? I think I said Larian Douglas, which that aged pretty well. He's looked pretty good. There's somebody I think I'm more hyped on this episode than I am on Larian Douglas. So
nice.
You're gonna have to stay tuned to figure out who that is.
All right. I have a feeling.
Do you have a feeling
right. I do. I have a feeling.
Okay.
I know. One thing I do know for sure.
You should write down. So I want to know if you messed up and got it wrong.
I just know because you might just like this person because of the nickname, though. So one thing I know for sure, you should get the SGPN app if you haven't already. Check out your app store. Get our app. It's easy access to all of our free picks and props and all of our shows and all of the other good stuff that we have on this here network. So SGPN in your app store. All right. The usual spiel. Contender Series Tuesday coming up. That will be the 30th. 8 p.m. start time. ESPN Plus. 5 fights. We were going to get 6. Now we're down to 5. And we're Tabology as of this recording. Earl, they don't know the order. Gumby knows the order, though. We're starting off with flyweights, excuse me, because little guys have to start off. If there's no women on the card, then they stick the little guys. Rashid Vagabov, he is from Russia. Paulo da Silva, he is from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds. Tell you about da Silva first. PH is a nickname. 11-1, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's won 11 straight fights. He's not lost since his pro debut, February 2021. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 1-0 in LFA, 4 inches taller than Vagabov. Vagabov is 13-2, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted once. He's won 5 straight fights, 4 straight via submission. He's not lost since August 2021. Used to fight at featherweight, so he's jumped up 2 weight classes there. All right, let her rip.
I'm going to say Vagabov, like negative 250, maybe even negative 275. The big piece for this on me is if you watch Paulo Henrique, he's got pretty much 2 big issues in terms of what I see. in terms of the ways he could lose a fight. The big one is that when he throws stuff, he does not protect his face. He's right there. He's right there to be countered. And it's not really cost him so much in the past because, he's got good pace, he's got good pressure, and basically scares people off. But there's no scaring Vagabov off. This guy is so fast on the feet. He has got his head kick is insanely fast. Like his kicks, they just come with no windup whatsoever. They've got big power on him. He's excellent there. He's also got good pressure in his own right. The other thing I don't like about Paulo Henrique, you watch his fight with Hugo Paiva in LFA. In that fight, he had a lot of trouble with the wrestling. And I don't really see Vagabov wanting to go there, especially being that, like, we've seen a lot of guys recently on Contender Series be like, I'm just going to throw hands, even if I'm a grab, because, like, that's work. But, like, he does have a really nice double leg at any point in time if he wants it. Like, Paulo Henrique's having success on the feet or is hitting him with pressure or whatever it might be. The way the quickness of which he gets down to a double, and how he locks the hands, turns the corner, all of that kind of stuff. It's too good from Vagabov. I just see him as being the worst possible matchup for a guy who sometimes gets overly aggressive and doesn't protect his face. Head kicks are right there, and who has had notoriously trouble with wrestling. So yeah, I'm gonna take Rashid Vagabov. Vagabov. I think just most likely this is one-way traffic.
All right. Lock it in. No odds, obviously, people, because they're
cowards this year.
Or cowards. They want to wait and hear what it's you, Gumby. It's got to be you. They're not waiting for Yanni to tell them who to pick. It's definitely you. All right. We are going to featherweight now. Kurtis Campbell from jolly old England. Demba Seck, Seck, not Sack. He's from Senegal. 3 5-minute rounds at featherweight. We'll tell you about Seck first. He is Black Tiger. He's fighting the Pink Panther. So there you go. The nicknames, they match. Black Tiger is 10-2, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He's won 7 straight fights. TKO win in his last bout. He's an inch taller than Campbell. The Pink Panther is 7-0, 4 knockouts, 1 submission, 2 straight finish wins for him. Not finished fighters. He's finished 2 straight people. A regional champion, 8 years younger than Seck.
So for me, what did I write down as the possible odds? I wrote Campbell -300. I think the books would be smart to be in on him here. It wouldn't surprise me if it was lower, just because the records are, they're not that dissimilar, right? No. But first of all, I think the UFC is gonna love Kurtis Campbell. This dude's a big personality. He's like a real weird guy. Watch some of his YouTube videos if you're wondering what I'm talking about. He's just he's got a big personality, but also, like, he's got a really weird fighting style. Like, at times I'm watching and I'm like, did this guy come from Point Taekwondo? Like, he's just kind of got that, like, hands really far away from his face, real weird leg movements, real weird footwork, and then, like, he'll jump and throw stuff, and you'll be like, okay, well, that's some, like, weird ass Point Taekwondo, but then he, like, really does a good job of sitting into things and, like, laying people out. Like, his power is kind of sneaky. So it's like, at times it looks like he's trying to be like Shauna Bannon, and then, like, at other times,
oh no,
but then at other times he's dropping absolute bombs and sleeping feathers. So, like, it's like really awkward and hard to get your head around. And then on top of that, as if he wasn't like enough of a riddle, like, he's like a pretty damn good technical wrestler. Now, and that's the difference between Demba Seck and Campbell for me, is that, like, both guys seem to want to get their wrestling going at times, or they want knees in the clinch. Those tend to be 2 things that they work for. Demba Seck is like, I shoot from way too far away. I've seen a couple of takedowns where he, like, literally just, like, throws his, like, terrible opponent that he's facing. And look, that worked in the past. It's not going to work against Kurtis Campbell. So he's like a guy who shot from too far away and muscled things and still kind of got in his way, whereas Campbell is, like, much more technical when it comes to getting in on the hips, to putting a guy against the cage, to pulling his feet away in the way that you're supposed to, whereas Seck is just like, it's like all power. And then from the striking perspective, like I said before, like, Seck likes to get in the clinch and throw knees. I think Campbell's a touch better there. And then from range, I just think the weirdness of the way that Campbell throws and stays around the outside and is light on his feet. And like I said, he oscillates between being a point fighter and a power fighter. And he does so, like, almost without warning. I think all of that is a nightmare for Demba Seck. So I'm going to go with Kurtis Campbell. I think he's probably a big favorite here.
All right. Lock it in. All right. let me tell you. Oh, did you see the big news that came down the other a couple of days ago? PFL is revolutionizing the game again, Gumby.
Yeah.
You're gonna have one champion for every weight class. What do you
But
think
did you
of
see the
that?
rest
Crazy,
of that? Did you see the rest of that announcement though? Because the rest of that
so
announcement was like, we got one champion in every division, but also Francis Ngannou, that title he won, that's real too. We could maybe use that in the future, but we don't know yet. And it's like,
he's never going to fight for us again.
Well, and they're like, we have to figure out what he's doing. But they were also like, that was a one-off that we might use again. And so I'm like, so you don't have one title, you have two titles. This is an announcement about having one title in which you made an excuse for why you have two titles. And like, instead you're going to do it again.
I love them. We're making all our viewers mad because you YouTube people, you love your PFL. But anyhow.
I like PFL too. It's very fun to make picks on. It's been great for us this year in terms of viewers, in terms of winning picks. It's just run by an idiot.
There you go. That's all. No big deal. It's like the Phoenix Suns, my beloved Phoenix Suns. All right, before we get to more winning Contender Series picks, let me tell you about MyBookie. We're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place betting football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. They will have Contender Series lines there probably as soon as they hear what Gumby likes on this card. So head to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code MMASGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So that's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And Novig, we're also brought to you by Novig. That's Novig, all one word. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig promo code SGPN. All right, no more PFL slander for now. Let's get into more Contender Series fun. We have got another fight. Imagine that. 3 more fights, actually. We're going to welterweight now. Christopher Alvidrez. He is from the United States. Alvidrez. Eliezer Kubanza. He is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. 3 5-minute rounds. All right, this is the shortest resume I've ever had on the show, Gumby. 7-0 with 6 knockouts. That's all I have for him. Nothing else.
I got a lot of info on him because he's the guy I'm most excited about.
Oh, he's the one. Okay, I was thinking it was going to be Baba Yaga, but okay.
No, it's definitely Kubanza.
Good. I don't need to tell you anything else then about him. Alvidrez is 6-1, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's never been finished in a fight. He's won 5 straight, 4 straight via TKO. He's fed at 155, 1-0 in pro karate, 2 inches taller than Kubanza. So he's taking Kubanza. We know that much, right?
Yeah, Kubanza. I mean, like, he should be negative 1,000 in this fight, if I'm being honest. I don't know where he'll come in.
What is he going to be?
500 maybe. Let's say 500. He'll maybe half that, but it should get bet up. And should get bet up. So first of all, he's nasty. He's been fighting for Brave for some time against high level opponents and just making them look absolutely silly. And the fun thing about Kubanza is he comes from a martial art world that you probably have never heard of. He fought in this martial art that's from Central Africa called Mukumbusu. And Mukumbusu is like a no holds barred thing that they do in Central Africa.
Vale Tudo?
It's like a Vale Tudo, but like it's different because it also comes from, I'm trying to remember the name of the parent martial art that it originally originated from, but it was like basically the colonists came into Central Africa and added some of the karate and the judo that they had along to Lalido, I believe is the name of the martial art, which is the parent martial art of capoeira. But it was capoeira, except for you were trying to slam your opponent instead. So it was like dancing martial art where you were going for slams. And then it got combined with like judo and like boxing and stuff like that. And now it's Mukumbusu, which I believe it loosely translates to gorilla. And the reason it's called Mukumbusu is because you just fight like a gorilla in there. You do whatever you want, which is nuts, right? But like, also, it's like if you watch Kubanza fight, it's so obvious that he came from this like gnarly, no holds barred art because like when he starts hitting you, he's never gonna stop. Like he is just on top of you, and he's gonna hit you with like a 72 punch combo, and then out of nowhere, despite the fact that he is this like sniper who hits like a truck on the feet, he also will just slam you out of nowhere. Which again, when you're talking about the history of Mukumbusu. Which is, I think, from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I know it's Central African. It's from the Vagabov people, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Whoa, look at you, hot shot.
Look at me knowing my stuff. But like, yeah, like knowing that it came from a martial art that like had a bunch of slams in it, it's like not surprising that he's also like nasty at takedowns too. So like they're unconventional takedowns. They're not the type of slams you would typically see, but like he surprises the hell out of all these fighters. And I watched him fight in Brave, like these Russian guys who come over with this like high level of like, you know, Dagestani takedowns or Chechnyan takedowns. And like, he's beaten the hell out of all of them, and not just on the feet. Like he's taken them down too. And here he is fighting Alvidrez, who, like, God bless him. I almost didn't do research on him before because I was just like, there ain't no way he's beating Kubanza.
You thought he was Canadian or something?
Well, we went to go break down Kubanza on Brave. I don't know if you remember this. There was a Brave episode maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, I remember.
He was supposed to be in the co-main event, and I was like, Kubanza, I'm so jacked up on. The UFC just needs to sign him. Don't even put him on Contender Series. And then he had to pull out because he couldn't get a visa to go to whatever country they were fighting in. It could have been, you know, I have no idea. It was one of those European countries, and he couldn't get to it. But anyway, I did do the research on Alvidrez, so I'll just rattle this off. A lot of front kicks, trying to keep range. Most of them are naked. You know, nothing behind him. He throws them and hopes you don't return. You know, he's got a good stance. He keeps his hands up, but he doesn't seem to have like a really good sense of range. And against the guy who's got as good of a sense of range as Kubanza does, like if this lasts 2 minutes, I'll be pretty surprised. So give me Eliezer Kubanza.
All right, there you go. Gumby is very hyped in this gentleman. So
this dude rules.
Hopefully, everyone is flying to YouTube to look up clips
Mukumbusu?
of this guy now for sure.
No,
to find clips of Kubanza or Mukumbusu. Yeah, that as well. All right, we have got. Do we need to do the next fight? We know who you're going to pick. We have Louis Jourdain. He's from Canada. There you go.
Do you know the other reason I'm going to pick against him?
Oh, you are picking him. Magno Diaz, who's wearing nerdy fake glasses with tape in the middle of it. So there's your other reason right there. He is from Brazil. Yeah, this is the guy who's getting jinxed by his teammates, Mr. Diaz, or is it Diaz?
I think it's
Diaz. He is the violence. 6-1, 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted once. Yanni's going to say take the over on this one, right? He's won 3 straight, all via finish. He's not lost since October 2021. He's fed at 125 and 145. Mr. Jourdain, little brother, I'm assuming, of Charles. A brother of Charles.
Charles' little brother, yeah.
Mad Prince is 8-3, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted twice. 3 straight wins for him. 4 of 5 have come via win as well. 3 straight wins via TKO. Has not lost since January 2021. He's fed at flyweight, 3-1 as a pro boxer, 0-1 as a pro kickboxer, 3 inches taller than Diaz. You have the cover of the Fighting Nerds as your reason why you're fading the Canadian.
I'm gonna say pick 'em odds here because Jourdain is a Jourdain, and you know that seems to try gonna hold some weight.
That is good.
I also think people are gonna start fading the Fighting Nerds, assuming that they all suck and forget the fact that every single one of those guys.
Do that.
Well, and every single one of those guys who just lost, right? And all 4 of them who just lost, right? The guys that we're talking about. They all won 6 fights to get to that fight they lost.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Diaz isn't at that point yet.
Yeah. It's like, you know, if you want your criticism of the Fighting Nerds to be like they can't win the big one, like I don't think you're right about that. Like I think they just had bad matchups or bad days or whatever. One of them got caught with an insane spinning elbow. But like B, this is not the big one yet. So like, you know, even if that's your criticism, that's irrelevant. But I do think it plays into the odds because I think people are on that track. And so I think this will come down to even. And for me, it's Magno Diaz. And the reason why is if you watch Jourdain, like probably the more technical fighter in this fight, he switches stances a lot. You know, not a bad bit of power. But if you watch his last fight, he was defending the champ of Samurai MMA in Canada. Is that the promotion up there?
Yeah, that's in Quebec, I think. Yes, Samurai.
Yeah. So he was he was defending that belt, and he just got like pinned against the cage like kind of a lot, and he didn't really get taken down, but he was there for a really long time, and it sort of just makes you question like, is he good enough at digging the underhooks and getting out of these bad positions and stuff like that? And Magno Diaz has used a lot of wrestling in his past, now granted against a much lower level of competition. Also, didn't Jourdain used to be a flyweight? I'm almost
Yes, he
positive
was.
he used
Yep.
to be a flyweight. Yeah,
Yep.
and because he was going to fight TJ Laramie's little brother too at flyweight at one point in time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. We broke it down, I think.
Yeah, and then it got canceled on Fight Night. I think that was in our rare United MMA fight episode.
Yes, it was. Yes.
But yeah, so like he's a little bit undersized, so he's having a little bit of trouble getting tough bantamweights who wrestle off of him. And then like when you look at most of the groundwork of Louis Jourdain, like because he's been taken down and put on his back before, you know, he doesn't do the fundamental get up on his takedown. It's a lot of like looking for elevators and butterfly sweeps. And like he actually in his last fight, he swept the guy and wound up with a TKO on top. But just like, is that gonna happen against a guy with like good Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Probably not, right? Like that's something that's worked so far for him in the fights he's gotten, but I don't know that it works here. And then the other thing I like about Magno Diaz is that like he is going to go for the takedowns up against the cage, but even if he doesn't get them, the way he corners people against the fence and just like won't let you off the hook, I mean, it's probably as good as you're going to get on Contender Series at times. Like he just does a really good job of forcing you to stay there and to fight in a phone booth where he wants you. So, and I think if he does that with Jourdain, I think he lands the bigger shots because Jourdain, again, better technical striker, but maybe not like packing the punch that Magno Diaz does. So I'm going to take Diaz. I think probably a pick 'em.
Okay. Questions. Does Jourdain fight like his brother?
I don't think so. I mean, like, I think his brother goes for it more. I think the difference is that like his brother's not scared of anything, right? And he's kind of gone out on a shield a few times. I kind of think Louis Jourdain his record is probably better because he does it, but it's also why I trust him less in this situation.
And what Diaz? What other fighting nerd that we know does Diaz fight the closest to? Is there a guy that is comparable? A teammate that's comparable?
I would say like either a mildly less aggressive Mauricio Huffy. It would be maybe my instinct because he's not nuts like Mauricio Huffy.
Yeah,
but he does get in your face like Huffy does, and like
yeah,
you know, Huffy can wrestle a little bit. We've seen, and obviously not in the last fight, not against Benoit Saint-Denis, but like he's wrestled a little bit here and there if you watch his regional stuff. So like, you know, maybe a little bit like that.
Okay, no more questions, Your Honor. All right, we are. Let's go to an ad read, and then let's go to our main event. Underdog Fantasy. It's a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' stats. It's also available for a ton of sports. Gumby always likes to give you a play. He's a know-it-all.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with baseball. Baseball's almost over, so I'm trying to milk it for all it's worth.
Sunday.
We're on Thursday right now. So I'm gonna take Shota Imanaga's strikeouts against the Mets.
I know him.
The Mets are doing their best to try to implode and miss the playoffs right now. So I want to give them every chance to do exactly that with Shota Imanaga striking about a dozen times. So give me the higher than on Shota Imanaga's strikeouts.
Had him on my fantasy team. Didn't help me. I ended up in the consolation bracket.
I'm in my finals. I'm in my finals right now.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Gumby's a winner. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code, only our code MMA SGPN. And Rhythm, RITHMM. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, usually it's football I'll ask you for here, but we'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I've been taking teams covering the spread lately, but I'm going to take instead the teams getting the points in this one. I'll take the Colts getting the points against the Rams. They are in Los Angeles, but in the same token, Danny Dimes has looked pretty damn good. And even if they don't win, I think they can keep it within a field goal. So give me the Colts with the points.
All right. See if Rhythm agrees with Gumby. If you use our promo code SGPN25, when you download the Rhythm app, you can get 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm, RITHMM. Use our promo code SGPN25 and you'll be set.
On Sunday when we were recording the Tuesday episode, I gave out James Conner's rushing yards just in time for his leg to explode.
You jinxed him. It was the old Top Turtle curse leaking over to our show. Hopefully we don't end up getting cursed as well. Not good. Especially when you're gambling. You don't want to have curses on you. All right. We are going to, I guess, the main event, as of now at least. Vitor, excuse me. He's Brazilian, so he's a Vitor. Vitor Costa from Brazil. Damian Pinas. Is that how you say it?
Pinas.
He's from Aruba. Panache. He's from Aruba. Is this our first Arubian fighter that we've talked about?
Yeah, he's from Aruba, but he trains at Nova Unao in Brazil.
Okay, Brazil. There's not a lot of Caribbean fighters we come across. I guess it's what you don't want to fight there. You just want to chill, right? It's nice in the
Yeah, I
Caribbean.
mean, we got a couple, but most of them have like emigrated to other countries too. Right?
Yeah,
like we got a handful of like Jamaican fighters.
Like our friend the dancer is from a Caribbean country as well. Waldo
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
He's in a fight he's gonna lose finally.
He
you
sure
know,
is.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yep. All right, we'll tell you about Panache first. The Baba Yaga. He's 7-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. He's never been finished in a fight. I thought Baba Yaga was more like a European thing. I didn't know that they knew about that in Aruba as well. But anyhow,
I think it is a European myth that was brought to like the islands, and we could talk about colonialization if you want.
Again, we were just talking about it. You were talking about it earlier with Kubanza and their martial arts stuff.
Mukumbusu.
Mukumbusu, right there you go. If I knew how that was spelled, that would be the title of his episode. But who's to say? All right. Baba Yaga 7-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. He's never been finished. He owes his round still. He's won 3 straight, all via TKO. He's a regional champ, 2 years younger than Costa. Costa's 8-1, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He has won 8 straight, 4 straight via finish. He's not fought though in about a year. I'll show you exactly a year, September 2024. However, he has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 1-0 LFA. Use Fed at 205 and inch Charlin Panache.
I think the higher level of opponents and the sort of better resume from Victor Costa is you're going to see him as a slight favorite. I wouldn't say it's huge though, like maybe negative 160 or something like that. You get a plus 140, 135 on Panache. And I'm going to go with him here as the underdog. Right. It's kind of a shame that's other than the one I said was Pick'em. Like, this might be my only underdog. I did like an underdog in the canceled fight, or what I assumed would be an underdog. So, but we only got one here. And the reason I like him is like, look, I am a little worried about his takedown defense. It's not looked good at times in his fights, but he always does tend to get back up. Costa's not the best wrestler in the whole world. In fact, like most of his grappling is like he gets into the clinch and then he jumps a guillotine, and he's got like 3 guillotine finishes, but like none of them have really impressed me all that much. And there's no way Panache is like in the clinch ducking his head down anyway, right? Like this guy wants to box more than anything in the whole world. But on the feet, I think he's just so much better than Costa. He's got a really, really, really stiff jab. It's absolutely electric when he throws it. The 1-2, so sharp, dropping opponents here and there. I just think Damian Panache is such a better striker than Costa that even if he's down for a couple minutes, that when he gets back up, the power is going to be there. I also really don't like the cardio from Costa either. Like he's kind of like he's not a really fit middleweight, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't body shame here. I'm a big guy myself, but yeah, it looks like he maybe has not been in the gym all that often, and like I think it's not done good things for his cardio. So I'm gonna go with Panache. I think as the fight wages on, you're gonna see more and more strikes landed for him.
All right, you're set for week 8. No, 8, 7, 8. We're up to 8 already, aren't we?
8.
Boo, that's sad. That means it's almost over. All right, let's give you a recap, and then we'll get out of here. Panache, Diaz, Campbell, Vagabov, I missed one there, and Kubanza. Your favorite one I missed because his resume is so short. All right, you are set for a contender series. You can chat with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hit us up in the comments on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, please and thanks. That would be MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. On Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Check out my Substack. You can enter my free UFC Pick'em contests at moneymma.substack.com. Plus, I have lots of articles up there as well. Gummy has a podcast called Top Turtle MMA Podcast. Tell the people who is on the most recent episode.
Yeah, we got a pair of guys fighting in Perth this weekend. We got Colby Thickness and we got Jonathan McAuliffe.
All right, so check it out. That would be Top Turtle. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. When are we coming back? We're coming back on Sunday. We got another busy week coming up, I think, right? There's always
there's good stuff on there. We'll make sure we hit it all.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I'm Daniel Gummy Vreeland. He's the Baba Yaga, Jeff Fox, and we see you Sunday.